Raider Nation, if you're looking for the latest news, rumors, and if you love live and interactive shows, then subscribe to the Las Vegas Raiders Report. I know it's the off season, but we are going to continue to do daily videos 100% free right here on this channel. News, rumors, draft, free agency trades, all of that. So please, go ahead, hit that big red button, and subscribe. No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. What's on today's video? We're going to be breaking down some top coaches that could be the next Raiders defensive coordinator. However, let's first talk about how the Raiders obviously got rid of Paul Guenther, fired after that Week 14 game. Thank the Lord. The only reason why I want to bring this up is simply for context, and let's just all say it. FPG, it felt really good to be able to say that. All right, how about let's move this next guy, Rod Marinelli, currently the interim defensive coordinator for the Raiders. And this was the obvious move. We all knew it was going to happen. The issue is this. I am not a believer that he is going to be the new DC. And after a lot of these new reports, guess what? I totally agree. He's not going to be the new DC. So what I wanted to do on today's show is try to think about some potential names that the Raiders could go out and hire as a new defensive coordinator. So what I did was I took my rankings from 10 and I went all the way down to number 1. So whoever's number 1 is the guy that I think is the most likely that the Raiders are going to hire. So this is what I want you to do. If you want the Raiders to hire a new defensive coordinator in 2021, I want you to go ahead and like this video. The Paul Guenther video had 3,500 likes. I want this one to get 3,600 likes. So if you're a Raiders fan and you want the defense to get better, go ahead and like the video. So this is what Jon Gruden had to say. We plan to move quickly, and we're excited about this process. This is about Gruden, about the Raiders hiring a new DC. Well, maybe, just maybe, I can help you all with that process, and maybe you guys hire one of my top 4 guys on this list. Let's get into the Raiders DC candidates. At number 10, I got Steve Wilks. So he wasn't brought back by the Browns after his 2019 season. He was the Cardinals head coach in 2018. I thought he got fired a little bit too early, but he is a part of the Mike Holmgren tree of coaches, which is where Jon Gruden is from. And I know Jon loves himself some old coaches where he's got some old ties. But Steve Wilks, I don't think is all that likely. That is why he is number 10 on my list. At number 9, I got Kris Richard. If I would have made this video last year, Richard would have been a lot higher. He was one of these people that was very highly touted as a young defensive mind. However, I've watched the Cowboys defense in the past, and I thought the Seahawks were just good in the past as well. But he does do a lot of things. A Cowboys DB coach, defensive play caller, passing game coordinator. He did a lot of things. And he also retired as a player with the Raiders in 2007, which I know a lot of y'all like a lot. At number 8, let's go to Gregg Williams, and I'm just going to throw this out there right now. I did not want to put him on the list, but there have been 4 people that have been linked to the Raiders according to verified Twitter accounts. This is one of them, and it's Gregg. Person, Jason La Canfora. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't really believe what Jason La Canfora has to say, but he says that Gregg Williams is tied with the Raiders, and this is just a confusing one to me because I don't really think he's all that great of a defensive mind. He's tied in with the 2012 Bounty Gate scandal with the Saints, but if you want somebody who's aggressive, if you want somebody that's going to blitz, maybe Gregg Williams is your guy. So this is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. What does this mean for all you new watchers? This means it's going to be the very, very first comment on today's video. So if you come across it, I want you to go down and comment because it's literally going to say this. Who should be the Raiders DC in 2021? You're going to get hit with a YouTube ad break while the ad is playing. Scroll on down and let me know who is going to be the Raiders DC in 2021. Can you do that for me? Seriously, go down and do it. Let's go to number 7, Wade Phillips. And Wade Phillips was a lot higher on my first list that I put together, but the more and more I look at it, the more and more I look at the tea leaves, I personally don't believe that he is going to be hired. But he is somebody that has vocally said that he is interested in being the Raiders DC, which, I'm sorry, if I want somebody who wants to be the DC. Now, he's up there in age at 73 years old. The Raiders, I think, are going to hire somebody a little bit younger. And when it comes to it, Phillips wants to run a 3-4 front. Jon Gruden had this to say on Monday about the defensive scheme. We would like to be a 4-3 outfit. Don't get me wrong. We like to have some 3-down elements and be multiple, but we want to play 4 bigs if we can. And if they want to run a 4-3, that's not what Wade Phillips is going to do. Heck, he went on Twitter today and was making a case for the 3-4 defense. Wade, Sorry, I was pulling for you. It just doesn't look all that likely that the Raiders are going to be bringing you in to be the new DC in 2021. Let's go to number 6 now on my Raiders DC candidates list. I got Kris Hewitt, my mistake. The defensive coach since 2012, and he's promoted to past defensive coordinator this year. Gruden has said multiple times that he wants to get more out of his cornerbacks, more out of his secondary. I think Kris Hewitt can definitely do that. And he also played briefly in the NFL with the Saints, and he's a part of the Mark Holmgren tree of coaches, which again, I don't care what anyone says, I do think is important to somebody like John Gruden. So if you want somebody who knows how to coach defensive backs, who has done a phenomenal job coaching defensive backs, and I think Damon Arnette, he's a player that you want to get a lot more out of who can be physical. I'm telling you what, I think Kris would be a guy that you could potentially bring in and get the most out of your players like Trayvon Mullen, like Damon Arnette, and fingers crossed even for a guy like LaMarcus Joyner. So we're almost halfway through, we are halfway through our top 10 candidates list. If I don't have anyone on the list that you guys want, remember, I'm doing the best I possibly can. We make hundreds of videos here at Chat Sports. So hit me up on Instagram, at Mitchell Renz 365. If I didn't get anyone, if you want to give me a follow because you like the list, hey, that's awesome. But we run an interactive Raiders show, and I want to get to know y'all a little bit better. So hit me up, give me a follow on IG, and if you have any other recommendations, slide in those DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. Let's go to number 5 on my list, Dan Quinn, fired by the Atlanta Falcons after an 0-5 start. Quinn, to me, is the perfect example of some people are made to be coordinators and some people are made to be head coaches. No offense to Dan Quinn, he wasn't cut out to be a head coach. He wasn't. But in terms of a smart defensive mind, he is one of the best in the league, and I will stand by and say that. When you look at some of the best defenses that I've seen in the last 10 years, the one that always sticks out to me is the Legion of Boom with the Seahawks. Dan Quinn was one of the major reasons why that defense was what it was. So he's had a ton of success there. He's had a ton of success with some winning teams, but from a scheme standpoint, Quinn reminds me of what I want the Raiders defense to be. I want the Raiders defense to be tough. I want them to be physical, and yet still fast and also have the ability to change. The reason why the Legion of Boom was so difficult to defend against, they were tough, but they also could switch things up on you, and they were so versatile. So I really like Dan Quinn. He's number 5 on my list. Now, here are 3 coaches that I always get asked about, and honestly, I probably could have added Urban Meyer to this list. I probably could have added Rex Ryan to this list. Could have added a whole bunch of coaches. But these are the 3 that always pop up the most when I talk about getting a new DC. It's not going to happen, y'all. Jack Del Rio. Why would he leave the Washington football team? That defense is a lot better there, and if he wants to be a head coach for the Raiders, that's a lot different. But why would you join the team that got rid of you for the current head coach? Doesn't make a lot of sense. How about Brenston Buckner, defensive line coach for Arizona? Again, another guy who I do not anticipate coming back. And then Charles Woodson. He has verbally already said that he has no interest in coaching the Raiders. It's time now to get into my top 4 Raiders defensive candidates in 2021. Remember, he was hired in 2018 by the Raiders after an impressive coaching stint with Alabama in 2016 and 2017. Then, he left in 2019 to take Tennessee's DC DB job. One of the biggest reasons why he got that job was because of John Gruden. Remember, Gruden has a lot of ties to Tennessee, and he has a lot of respect for Ansley. And when asked about Ansley, he said he's going to be a star in this profession. If you want a sleeper candidate on all these videos or all these articles that you're going to see about potential Raiders DC candidates, if Ansley's not on their list, on anybody's list, they're not doing their homework. I am telling you right now, he is going to be someone that Gruden calls. He's going to be someone that Gruden respects. And if he's open to it, I'm telling you, don't totally shut the door. My top 3 Raiders candidates here, and I think it's a clear tier. There are 3 people that, if you were to tell me are going to be the next Raiders DC, it's going to be one of these next 3. At number 3, it's Raheem Morris, who started as the Falcons DC, but became the head coach once Dan Quinn was fired. Popular name. He's going to be being interviewed by a ton of teams. There's going to be a lot of teams that want to get their hands on Raheem Morris. Sounds a little bit perverted, but whatever. And the fact that he seems to be loved by players is amazing to me, because this is a Raiders team that they're young. They want a coach that they can vibe with. They want a coach like Rod Marinelli who they can get down and have a good time with. It's one of the biggest reasons why I know the players also love John Gruden. So Raheem Morris is definitely somebody that needs to be on your list. So once again, make sure you guys hit that big red button and subscribe, because this When the Raiders do hire a new defensive coordinator, we're going to make a video. Not only am I going to make a video, I'm probably going to go live. We're going to do some breaking news, and I don't want you to miss it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I don't want you to miss a thing. Let's get into my top two now. Joe Barry, regarded as one of the best linebacking coaches in the National Football League. And for Gruden, he wants to get the most out of Kwiatkowski, wants to get the most out of a guy like Corey Littleton. Curious what they do with a guy like Nicholas Morrow, and call me crazy, I think they're going to move Jonathan Abram to linebacker. It's just what I think. But the Bucs DC with Gruden from 2007 to 2008, so he has ties there. Plus, he has ties with John's brother, Jay, who is Washington's DC from 2015 to 2016. And if those ties aren't enough, he is Barry, okay, is Rod Marinelli's son-in-law. I don't know if I would personally want to coach with my father-in-law, but hey, if Rod has a say in this, and Barry's worked with a lot of these players like LaMarcus Joyner, he's worked with a guy, like a Corey Littleton, and if you want to go out and get a guy like John Johnson in free agency, Joe Barry is definitely up there. But my number one candidate to be the next Raiders defensive coordinator in 2021, it's Gus Bradley, and he's been the Chargers DC since 2017, but he's more than likely going to be let go. Anthony Lynn was fired fired on Tuesday, and for me, Gus isn't going to be around. He's going to be looking to go somewhere else. But I want somebody who gets results, and this is another perfect example of he wasn't all that great as a head coach with Jacksonville, not good at all, but he's been phenomenal as a defensive-minded guy. There is no doubt about that. The last 3 years, the Chargers, top 10 defense. That's what I want. I want somebody that's going to be able to come in and be phenomenal. And then in terms of the coaching ties, his first NFL coaching job was under John Gruden back in 2006. Gruden likes him. He seems to be the front runner. There's a lot of people that I respect in Raider circles that think that Bradley is going to be it. If I was a bet man, which I am, I would put my money on Gus Bradley to be the Raiders DC in 2021.